we are live. Welcome, Shay, to the channel. Marketing Director at Candy Digital. How's it going?
Hey,
Thank you for
Prez.
joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. Could not wait to chat with you today.
I know. It's been a long time coming, right?
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah, I've been been speaking to plenty of members of the team already. So it's not like it's my first rodeo, but it'll be good to actually catch up with you. You were such a catalyst in like the hidden catalyst in some of the posts, most of the posts, like the content that comes in. Um, and really you've been part of our journey for the last more than 2 years, right? At this point.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, the floor is yours. Like, tell us about yourself. What's the real Shay like?
Sure.
Um, you
Really want
know,
to know? Really want to know the real Shay?
yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay. So aside from being director of marketing at Candy Digital, which I absolutely love, I love this community. I love the DC community. I love doing what I do. I love my job because first of all, I love being in this space. I love new things. I love Web3, NFTs, all that good stuff. And part of my, I guess, obsession with the tech space in general is I've always loved sci-fi since I was a kid. So I feel like everything that's happening today, not just with Web3, but with AI, with everything in the world, to me, it's exciting, and that's what I hang my hat on is all that good stuff. I mean, I everything in my life is super tech. Like I drive a Tesla. I have like 9 Alexas in my house. I've got like everything and anything you can think of. I'm on it. Like any new gadgets that I find on TikTok, buy, add to cart. So that's just me. And then of course, outside of work, outside of all this tech stuff that I love, I'm also an adrenaline junkie. I've flown a couple of planes. I've jumped out of a plane. I've hiked the Grand Canyon, like a 3-day through hike, no tent, just out in the wilderness. I love horror movies. And I think this is one thing that you'll find interesting about me is that I do not fear death. I have no fear of death for like lots of reasons that if I were to go down this path now, we would not be able to stop talking for like a couple of hours.
Sure. So like you're like a tech enthusiast. So when
Yeah.
in your life, like tell me about um your relationship with like technology and how like when did you decide like marketing was the way to go, or did you just kind of fall into it? Did you go business school? What is like what is like, I know there's a bunch of questions there, but just trying to get to that
Yep.
Shay, like what makes
So
Shay Shay,
So I was a political science major and I ended up in marketing because I was working for this company that was kind of like a lobbying firm, a small local one in San Diego. And I happened to fall into one of the campaigns that had a lot of marketing to it. And I kind of fell in love with marketing.
Mm,
And to be honest, marketing is kind of like in my DNA. It's who I am. It's what I really am just naturally, you know, I feel like I do a really great job at it because I'm the kind of person that if I love something, I will not stop talking about it. I
mm.
will share it with everyone and anyone that I know. To the point where even when I was a kid, my sisters would always be like, "You sound like a commercial. Why do you talk like that?" And it's because
No,
when
I
I
did
love
wonder that. I'm like, Shay is like a commercial, like literally. But then, yeah, I don't know if it's a Filipino thing or it's just like, because we're both from Philippines, right? We're both
yeah,
born
yeah.
there. We were just talking about this
Mhm,
earlier.
mhm.
So when did you move to America, I guess?
I was 3 years old.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so I don't really know much about the Filipino culture. I don't speak the language. I don't even really eat the food. My parents, I don't know, they kind of were just like, they didn't like harp on us on like keeping the traditions and the culture and everything. They were just like, hey, whatever you want to be, just be that. Um,
So they didn't force you to be like a nurse or I don't
no,
know, like something
uh-uh,
like that, like, but
no.
but
My
were
dad
they?
My
Yeah,
dad wanted me to go to law school. He wanted me to be a litigator,
I could
and I
see, I
was
could see,
going down that path.
I could see you being a lawyer actually.
I don't know, it'd be kind of boring for me.
No, no, but like the way you navigate it, like
Oh,
like
thank you.
the way you the way you've been speaking with me so far, like not right now, obviously, but
Yeah,
like just candidly before.
that's my OCD.
What's
That's
that? What's that? Like,
I'm very like detail oriented, very like on top of my shit all the time.
yeah, no, sure. I mean, yeah, I mean that's one thing you've got on top of me. I'm an agent of chaos.
Mhm.
I operate in the messiness of things. I think the
Oh,
best. But if you do wake me up early and if I am on time, you got to watch out because I'm extra deadly. So that's just how I am.
I think for me, as far as that chaos thing you mentioned, I am the same way because I'm also ADHD. So I've got like organized chaos, you know? I don't know if that makes sense.
Sorry, did
But
you
like
say?
I'm very spontaneous. Huh?
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I should stop reading the chats because I'm confusing it with what you're saying. So apologies, everybody. I'm just gonna leave that there. But the chats actually, I'm in a new stream, so apologies, everybody. I am a bit. See, he's an Asian of chaos. Wow, that is.
Ah, that's funny.
It's literally popping up because I set this up yesterday and I set it up on your end apparently. So yeah, that's quite funny. So you'll just have people's comments floating on top of you. So yep, that's quite new in the chat. I'm in a new streaming service. Yeah, it seems to be fun. It's fun so far. So yeah, what topic were we in? Yeah, so okay, so you said like marketing is like core of what you are. Um,
Like
what is like like the most satisfying things about what you do you think?
I think seeing the end result and seeing how I've impacted people, not only within the project, but like just overall. One of the things that I was taught, or that my dad taught me growing up when he was teaching me how to drive, he was like, always make sure that your passengers in your car are comfortable. So I apply that to every other aspect of my life. I really do. Like
Okay,
whenever, like the customer journey, right, is
all right.
super, the customer experience is super important. And I get that from my dad, who is the quintessential salesperson.
Oh,
And
is he a
so,
salesman? Is he a
yeah,
salesman?
he's a
Okay, so
salesperson. Yeah. My daughter is also in sales. So I kind of feel like I'm like sandwiched. So it's like perfect sales, marketing, sales. I have a
wow,
daughter.
wow, you have
Um,
a thought. Okay, and she's also working clearly now as well.
yeah, she's
Wow,
30.
wow.
Yeah,
No,
yes, I have a 30-year-old daughter, and she's badass at what she does too. She's in tech sales. So I'm like marketing in between sales.
I'm sorry,
I
but
got one and gave birth to one. What?
right, no, but like
In the
again,
math?
well, I know it's very rude to ask you something, but I'm not gonna ask you that. But if
I don't
you're in
mind.
the age bracket, you do not look the age bracket that way. So
Thank you
it's
very
very good.
much.
No, honestly,
Thank you.
no, great. Like, honestly, I'm super shocked right now. I don't even know what I don't even know what to ask right now.
I'll tell
Um,
you my age. I don't mind.
no, no, you won't. Don't.
Okay,
You
okay.
don't have to. Honestly, you don't have to. But um, but you look very good for if you have a
Thank
30-year-old daughter. That's great. Asians definitely don't
you.
raise
No
it.
reason.
Thank you for the assist there. Yeah, definitely. Like John is like 100, and you could never tell. Like John looks very good for his age as well.
But I think it's also how I act. I'm always smiling. I'm always laughing. So I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, see, so definitely you're in league with Halle Berry. I would say definitely. Catwoman. Like definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A Catwoman for real. Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you for the other assist. So the community is just riding this on. Like, you guys better conduct the interview now. I'm just gonna chill out.
Or they getting bored of our like chatter.
Yeah,
Sorry,
absolutely, absolutely.
guys.
So obviously I've seen like the only thing I know about you is obviously what you just told me, and obviously you're conveniently you're the sharebaron.com. So it's conveniently like gone back as far as like 4 jobs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess what else could I ask? I mean, how is Web3 like different from like real life marketing, do you think?
Oh, lots of ways, so many ways. So with traditional marketing, you've got like one-way communication, right? Oftentimes, marketing and advertising people, they will design a campaign based on what their product looks like and what they have to offer. Whereas Web3 marketing, yeah, you take the product into consideration, but you take more into consideration the audience and how you can make this a two-way conversation. So, for example, we focus highly on nurturing the community and giving them the ability to participate, not just as consumers, but also as stakeholders and co-creators. And you saw that with Batman Legacy Cal chapters 1, 2, and 3. There's my plug. Um,
Oh, you don't
we
have to plug it. I'm gonna plug it for you. What are you talking about here? But yes, right.
So we made sure to engage everyone in the direction of this comic book, right? That's not something you're going to see in regular traditional marketing. There, I don't know, Nike isn't going to, survey everyone and be like, hey, which kind of shoe should we make next? I mean, they do have their NFTs as well, so I shouldn't have used Nike as an example, but let's say Burger King.
Mm,
Um, they're not gonna be like, okay, what kind of sandwich should we make next year? Or what does this one look like for you? Do you guys, they go by consumer demand, yes, but they don't ask up front. They design something and they put it out there and see if it sticks, right?
mm,
And then also, there's a lot of like community feedback that influences the direction of the project. So things like that you don't always see in traditional marketing. It's like they're always just shoving, the content down your throat. You see things on your FYP on TikTok that are based on, those are based on your algo, right? Based on what you look at, what you spend the most time on. So it's a similar concept, but you have more control in the sense that, you are liking and, spending more time with certain pieces of content that resonates with you. So similar in that sense. And then also, I'd have to say one of the key differences is for Web3, I feel like there's much more agility and adaptability. We respond to the community, we respond to the market, we respond to what's going on around us. We don't just like,
throw
dictate
stuff out
how
there.
everything will go.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the two,
Um,
those are the biggest to me.
no, sure. I think the Web3 space is really exciting.
Yeah.
Um, but it's still very much the Wild West in a
Mm.
sense of like boundaries and privacy and the lack of privacy, um, accountability. There's a million things I could think of on top of my head that um, previous systems like especially big IP that it's layered with like you could see how long it takes for things to get actioned where
Hmm.
again I'm just this is just my kind of opinion is like well how long does what is the red tape around things around some of the IP that we love and it feels like it's a lot
It is
and
a lot.
you're right
And
and please you were gonna say something.
it is a lot, and I think that that's the part that the community doesn't see. We bust our asses when it comes to not just
Your ass off.
designing. Yeah, what?
No, I'm just go on. Yeah,
Am I allowed to drop?
you can't you
These-
can't help it. Yeah.
I wanted to be candid and genuine and all, and just
Oh yeah, yeah,
be.
that's fine. Like do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we work really, really hard, not just to design campaigns and product lines and digital collectibles that people will love, but we also work really hard to get approvals from the big IPs that we work with, not just DC, but also MLB. So everything comes with it's all trade-offs. The bigger that you are, the more red tape, and the more red tape, the more challenging it becomes to the everyday people that need to want to get things moving, want to get things done. And I think that there's so much untapped potential for big IPs to engage in Web3. Like for example, Web3. I've always said that Web3 is a really, really the most useful marketing tool that any brand can really participate in. First of all, it really deepens fan engagement, right? Like you guys have seen that with everything we've done with Bat Cows and even with the DC3s. We do a lot of different new fun things because we want to make sure that um, our community members are constantly engaged and they're happy with what we put out there. So from like owning the actual NFT to the interactive storytelling that we engage in and the exclusive access, like the behind the scenes and all of that stuff. So I feel like for big IPs not jumping on this, I think it's such a miss. You
Mm,
know, like I said, there are like so many like innovative marketing strategies that you can deploy within Web3 that make it so unique and make it so fun and interesting and appealing to like multiple different types of fan bases. And it really creates like a really great collab opportunity, not just like between brands and consumers, but also among different IPs working together, or like IPs and different artists and different genres and all walks of life. I think that that's something that they really should, all IPs should really look into
mm,
and consider. And then community building, as you know, Prez, like community is everything when it comes to Web3. Not just the fan engagement and these opportunities for them to be able to see their brand in a different way, but also for fans to be able to have a voice in the direction of the brand. I think that really strengthens their tie with that brand that they love, with that IP. Um, and then lastly, I want to say, as far as like what Web3 can do for big IPs, I think it future proofs the brand. Um, you know, I think that these types of projects and these types of this industry really attracts very tech savvy audiences. And that's kind of what you want, right? Because that's where we're going. And, with everything in life in general, is we're progressing towards a more tech oriented type of lifestyle. So this really gives brands the ability to be there when it's time, to get ready and to be there. Just this early adoption of these kinds of technologies really help them kind of look at the big picture and the long haul.
mm. Wow, there's so many things, avenues I could go in there. One thing I will go in is, um, oh, there's plenty I could go in there. So when you mentioned that companies, what do you think the biggest challenges of what do, and again, I don't know, you might not be privy to the actual sales of onboarding new IP to Candy or anything like that, but okay, just in general, what would you say are the biggest fears of these companies, that you personally think, or professionally you've seen? I'd leave you to answer it personally or professionally. What I flip it around in a second, which is like, what are the attitudes that repel those companies coming in? Is it just about the money, or is it more?
I think it's a combination of things. So I think that right now, when you look at the crypto market in general, it's very volatile, right? It's tough to control. And then there's the whole thing with like regulation. We don't really know what that's going to look like tomorrow, or after the elections. So many things can change. So oftentimes companies are a little apprehensive because they don't know what the future holds, and they want to make sure to survive in the long run. So they're being very cautious about where they pour their resources into. So I think that's the biggest thing, is the uncertainty. It's a very new industry. So they don't, and on top of that, they may not understand the tech behind it. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're chilling here for an hour and a half. I'm not in any rush to be like, I've got a bunch of questions I want to ask you. I
Yeah.
really want to think about this. So, okay, so those companies are thinking about. I mean, all right. So I'll hit the obvious nail. which is lots of like the bear market, or
Mhm.
what do you call this? I don't want to say recession, but a lot of. I mean, I've definitely been in better times. Of when I say better times, like I could definitely think of. Uh, I don't know how I should put this, but like you know what I'm trying to say. Do you think political and people spending power have anything to do with, and we all know that, like I've always said, like people that, like when we're in spaces where like it's life is tougher, people have less money to spend on luxury, when I say luxury items, but some of these items that we have on any digital collectible aren't cheap. So
Right.
do you think the people that are here are those like trailblazers, or are we too early? I guess those are the kind of things that I'm trying to just run past you. I mean, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard of these. What's
Mhm.
your take on that? Or do you think this is a good indication of where the youth could come in at some point, or maybe the older people would turn around at some point with, I don't know, the latest VR like glasses that will come. Like, it's almost like, oh, we're all going digitally, but then you look at the uptake, it almost feels like the 30-year-olds that are in this space because they have expendable money, and they have the patience, I guess, and they want to experiment. But I don't know if I'm making any sense here, but help me out. What do you, I guess the question I'm trying to ask is like, do you think we're still trying to find that audience? And what are you guys thinking of doing to, what are you constantly thinking about of trying to expand that? Or is there any reasons in your head to go, oh, but the younger people don't engage because they're all on TikTok, or all the older people are too rigid because they're all busy trying to protect their physical comic books? I don't know. Anything.
No, I think it's a quite a few things. So, for example, as far as gaps are concerned, as why the younger people or the older people aren't participating in Web3 or in NFTs. You're right. The younger crowd, they have limited financial resources, so and they're not always aware, or they don't always have access of what's going on. I think that NFTs are still a little bit of an enigma to a lot of people. Like they've heard the acronym, they kind of have an idea of what it is, but they don't know exactly the value that they bring, which is this. And to me, this is what I think makes an NFT valuable is the utility behind them, the experiences built behind them, the access that people usually get. And they don't, that doesn't really click for people. They don't understand that it's like an exclusive club, but the reason why they don't understand that is because not all NFTs offer the utilities that we offer behind ours.
Hmm.
I have definitely participated in other marketplaces. I've bought NFTs, everywhere, not every, from a lot of different sources, right? And not one has ever reached out to me with an email saying, "Oh, we've got this spaces going on," or "Because you own that collectible, you have access. You have early access to this." Never. I mean, yeah, it's weird. I've always thought, I mean, is it me? Am I like not opted in? What's going on? I'll look into it. And yeah, it's just really weird. So I feel like that is one thing that people just aren't aware of. I think that, and that's something that we definitely need to, education, um, giving them like resources and letting them know what the mechanics are behind NFTs. I think that's how we can overcome that barrier.
Do you
And then
think
for
do you think
sorry,
the
go ahead.
name do you think the name NFT is like dead in the water, or is it just what's been drilled into yours and my brain,
Oh,
where, because I just feel like it's just a dirty ass word everywhere. Like I've been to the DC Discord. It is horrible. Or any other, like, so there is one Discord, like the Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park Discord. He has like a digital collectibles and Web3 channel.
yeah.
And I came in there, I was like, oh my fucking god, like Mike Shinoda has an NFT collection. And they were like welcoming me with open arms, like even with the influx of new users in the Discord because of Linkin Park's resurgence. They were like, "Oh
Mhm.
my god, we can't believe you!" And there's a tutorial down the bottom there. We can't believe you love NFTs. Like it was just like, holy shit, we
Yeah.
found one in 1,000 or something, or like
Yep. Yep.
one in 10,000, and they were like so
Yep.
happy. They ran me through the whole process. Ugh,
Mhm.
dribbling,
Mhm.
sorry, I'm excited.
Totally. Yeah,
But
totally.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
I agree. Like, I don't. You're right. I don't know if it is just our world or everywhere in general that people look at NFTs and like, ugh, no thanks.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I that's why we call them digital collectibles.
So I am I don't know what's happening on the stream, but I am just going to catch up because there's 76 missed messages. Guys, you are definitely it's been popping up on your end. And guys, by the way,
Yeah.
I will like reshuffle this. But yeah, it's popping up your end. I could switch us around as well if you want so that it pops up on my face and not on yours because
Oh,
yeah.
are you not seeing the comments come in?
No, I am. It's coming in your end, your side of the stream.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
but that's cool.
Um,
Hi guys,
we
why have backups been put to sleep when cow holders seem to be the biggest percentage of current buyers? Here's as the right way rather than being brought from the dead. Are you AI? Press AI, at least thoughtful fingers in front of his chin. Yeah, my thoughtful finger. Yeah, man, that's my thinking face. My thinking. This is my thinking pose, man. Um,
that's your AI version of yourself is your thinking pose when you have to do that.
yeah, I don't know why DJCK's messages aren't. Um, I'm Korean here. You have to be more Korean than the Koreans. Yeah, because you have a brand to maintain. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
versus Oscom. Enough, enough. What does the customer journey
Wow,
look like?
yeah, I haven't looked at the chats above.
This was a good one.
Which one?
What does the customer journey look like right now for Candy?
The customer journey for candy. Oh, we've got some good stuff coming up for October.
But you see, Ellis is a guy that'll keep you on your toes today. Sorry, you say you had some stuff coming out, juicy stuff coming out in October.
Yes, juicy stuff. Okay, so you guys heard it here first because I don't plan to announce it until a couple of hours from now.
Mhm.
But all Legacy Cow holders, base and safe editions, and all Harley Quinn freaking awesome boxes of Mayhem holders will get the ability to redeem a free Harley Quinn Legacy Cowl between
No
5
way!
and October 31st to celebrate Harley Quinn month, which is the month of October. Heard it here first.
What? Sorry, sir. Can you repeat this? Wait.
We'll get the email too, so
Oh
we'll
gosh,
get
but
the email
still.
where we're gonna post.
So,
Yeah.
so
So
every Harley Quinn box holder,
mhm.
right? And every what back cowl or not?
No, Legacy Cowl
Legacy cowl and
holder of Boost Edition and Safe Mode Edition
safe mode.
will get to redeem for a free Harley Quinn Legacy Cowl collectible later today, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So it's free. So in a couple of hours.
So you're saying we don't have to craft it; you just have to claim it if you have a
Right?
legacy cowl already.
Yes.
And is there a snapshot already, or what's happening? Has a
Yes.
snapshot been taken already?
It's not, yes. It's mainly if you have it in your collection and you get, based on your SKU ID is when you'll get it. So I think that you may still be able to get it after um, we didn't really do a snapshot.
So you're saying like as long as you buy a
You have
legacy
it.
cow,
Yeah.
if you have a legacy cow, you can claim
Yeah.
a
Mhm.
legacy a Harley Quinn legacy cow.
Yes.
A Harley Quinn legacy cow. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Yes. I knew you were gonna save something for the stream.
Yep.
But that's unfair. I was gonna go slightly harder on you. I mean, come on. You're making life harder for
You're
me.
busy.
No. So she just said you don't have to craft them; you just claim them.
Yeah.
So no like mechanics or anything, right?
Right. Right.
Okay, that is new. Yeah, that is new, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's fucking go. I need to compose myself. I mean, I don't know why you just dropped it on an Ellis question. Like, what's the customer journey
Well,
looking like?
so to answer the question about the customer journey,
Yes.
um, I personally, I'm always thinking about the customer journey. Like, what can we do? What can we build? What can we create? What can we like promote that'll keep everyone? I mean, you can't please everybody. Not everyone can be happy. But as far as, making sure that our community gets, these perks and these like bonuses, right? Like, remember when we did those extra inserts of the legendary covers for the Penguin
Yes.
drop, not last week, the week
Yeah.
before?
Yeah. The extra. Yeah. Extra.
So right now we're really into the whole like surprise and delight kind of stuff. So
Hmm.
just because we don't announce something ahead doesn't mean we don't have any goodies for you guys. We've got stuff up our sleeves.
I mean, this the funny thing is, this is Ellis's first question, and you come out with so many stuff. I mean, he has a ton more for you, so you better save that. I mean, he has a second follow up one. What channels are Candy seeing the most traction when it comes to awareness and conversion?
Channels as far as like social channels.
Probably, yeah. That's what he meant. Yeah.
Mm, let's see. Gosh, I think it's pretty equal between Discord and X. Um,
Okay.
yeah. But to be honest, email is great. Email has really brought in a lot of people just like, yeah, as far as conversions are concerned, email is the highest performing. And you would think that it wouldn't be email because email's so like 20 years ago or whatever, 30 years ago. But yeah, it's still a really powerful tool.
I saw a preview of Terry Dodson doing OGR for Canada, juggling our boxes of mayhem.
Yep.
No fucking way.
Yes, the email,
Wow. No
yes, the email went out like 3 hours ago.
Yay,
And
I have a
yeah,
new subscriber. Wow, this is a cool feature. Wow, thanks.
so that's those images, those last two are work in progress. Those obviously are not going to be the collectible, but he wanted to send us something to be able to show everyone. And I thought it was adorable. I loved them. So yeah, we've got some.
You're making me FOMO right now. Honestly, I was gonna chill out in these drops. Stop it, guys. Oh, that's really cool though. Thank you, Terry
Mhm.
Dodson. Wow.
And I have to say, in case you guys missed it in the announcements and in the email, these collectibles are exclusively designed by Terry Dodson for candy collectors
So all
only.
of them, all of the
All of them.
400, all the 400 drops are sorry, 400 items.
Yeah, yeah. They're designed specifically and exclusively for candy. You will not find them anywhere else.
But the thing is, I can only afford maybe one. Like, so what?
No,
What am I gonna do? Like, this is a lot of money. 170. I need to sell my liver to keep up with all these drops. Like, come on, guys.
no. Well, just
It's
pick and
super cool.
choose. Yeah, but also the sale goes on until the following Wednesday, so it's from Friday or until we sell out. So
That's
save
super
up.
cool.
I don't
That's
know.
super cool. That's super cool. I need another income stream, guys. Even though the fun could be okay, doesn't consider the cycle includes loyalty and advocacy. How are you tackling loyalty and advocacy in your role? Can you? Do you have a say in that?
um, well, kind of. So at least from my end, the best thing I can do is, as a marketing director, communicate as openly as possible whenever, wherever I can. I want to give you guys all of the information, all of the details. If there's something missing, please reach out to me. As the marketing person, that's my job, is to promote our campaigns. I don't have that much control over the products that we offer.
Mm, that's
Obviously,
the part.
working with a big IP, we always need to go through approvals. Like, everything needs to be approved, from social copy to emails to what we say. That's why I wanted to make sure that this was not DC focused conversation, because I didn't want to have to go through approvals. I wanted to be as genuine and as open as possible.
Mhm.
Um, So as far as
Join
loyalty,
the dark side over here at Press Unmasks. The dark side of Press Unmasks. Let's go.
so as
Yeah.
far as loyalty and advocacy is concerned, just providing as much transparency as possible is the best that I can do.
Oh gosh.
And also creating opportunities for the community to engage with one another and, really appreciate what we're offering out there.
It's a
Does that
deep
answer the
question. You could
question?
go back to Alice at any point at some point, right? Because I'm just gonna let the community drive now because there's 140 things in the chat. We do have another hour, guys, so don't worry. We have plenty of time. Shay, have you seen the deluxe edition book?
I haven't seen it in print yet. I've seen the work in progress. I've seen
It's too
the
much.
digital.
See, you can't join the dark side all the time, but you can see all the good stuff, which
Yeah.
which is obviously like what we're dying to see. Gosh,
Mhm.
can we trade
I
places? Like, come on, let's just trade places at one point, and it's just like
I
let's do a switcheroo. Like, I can see all the good stuff. You can say whatever you want in my channel, and it will be great, right? It'll be great.
yes.
And yeah.
I have to say, I am so excited for the deluxe edition. I cannot wait for that to come out, you guys. I can't
I
wait.
need it in my fucking life right now. I need it in my life.
Me too.
Are we gonna get a digital version?
I can't answer all of
I
the
know you
questions.
can't. I know you can't answer that, but
That's an Andrew Ward question.
no, this is a question to the universe. That's all. It's not particularly to you. And by the way, I promised you not to ask these questions. These guys are bad influence on me. It's not even me, right? Like honestly,
I know. Also, 342 questions. Oh no, I'm behind.
oh my god, what is happening, guys?
Somebody-
Can't get through them when it comes. But I like Ellis's ones, because he's a marketing guy. So I like it because he's putting you on the spot. So they're really good questions.
oh, let me see the question.
When it comes to activations, do you prefer on-site or digital? Which do you
Hmm.
see greatest return with candy, on-site or digital?
I would say there are benefits to both. On site, you get to meet people in person, you get to engage with people, which is fun. And then digital, you have a wider reach. If I can only see 100 people within an hour, in person,
Hmm.
but digitally, I can, reach at least like 5,000 people. It's just trade-offs. But in person, really, IRL doesn't get better than that. It's just so fun to meet people in person.
Yeah, I want to go to America at some point. I want to meet you guys.
Yeah, that would be fun. You should come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Dark.
You had some, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say you had some great questions on your list.
I know, but like, how are we gonna do this? Because I have tons of things in the chat. Okay. Um, I just you as a collector. Is there anything you like to collect yourself, like art,
um,
really,
let's see. What do I like to collect? Well,
except
I
for the
do
questions?
collect. What?
Except for the questions today, you collect.
Well, okay. So aside from like DC and MLB NFTs, I also collect others outside of the candy ecosystem, like I mentioned earlier. But none of them have the utility. Like I'm looking for that.
I don't
So
know.
if anyone has any recommendations for outside candy ecosystem that has like really great utility, please send me your recos.
Am I allowed
Uh,
to ask you this question? Which one do you
what
like
question?
better, MLB or DC? I'm not allowed to ask you that, right?
Mm, from what perspective? Like from
Collecting.
working with them? From a collectible? Yeah, you can't ask me that question.
I can't ask you. It was a spicy one, though. It was definitely spicy. What would you do with unlimited resources?
I would sleep. I don't get enough sleep. I'm not kidding. I do not get enough sleep. So that's what I would do. If I had more help from people, if I had, a bigger team, and if I had more time, that's what I would do with unlimited resources. Seriously.
What just
I would build amazing things. I
Uh,
would, yeah, I've got so many ideas. I have a wild imagination.
okay, go
Wild.
ahead. Like this is your chance. Like, so what would be
Um,
so they announced that they're gonna give you, I don't know, 10 people. What would you
mhm.
go and have those 10 people, like 10 people do go shoot?
What would I do with those 10 people? Okay, so first of all, I would create a segment of our team that focuses on educating um, our our community, not just people who are already in the system, who already know about it, about our what we offer, but also like people who are new. That's the way we're going to be able to kind of get adoption, like mass adoption, is through education, making sure that everyone knows every aspect. I mean, I don't know if you remember the first couple of Legacy Cowl newsletter emails that I sent out. At the very bottom, it had like a glossary of terms. So for me, I love teaching people things. I really do. Like, I've even taught my 80-year-old mother-in-law how to use ChatGPT. Because I love to teach people, no matter what age they are, no matter what their experiences.
Mm,
I love to teach. It's fun for me. I get excited about it. So creating a branch that allows for educational opportunities for our users, and to really, especially for new users, that's what's going to help new user growth, is education and simplifying the user experience. I feel like oftentimes when people are new to anything, really, there's a learning curve, right? So we have to make sure to figure out the best, easiest way to take really complex pieces of information and make them into small, bite-sized, consumable pieces, because that's what you need. You need to make it easy to understand, easy to access, and then from there, you can show the value. You can show not only how it works digitally, but how it applies to your life, how it can make things, how it can resonate with you, how it can resonate with different people of different walks of life and different age groups. So, yeah, that's what I would do with unlimited resources. Maybe I'd also go buy an island somewhere and
we've all
and
we've all thought about
work
buying islands.
remotely.
Um,
Yeah.
so would you? I want to help you out answer this a bit more. Then, so you talked about the different age groups that you want to be talking to. What about like products? I don't know, but then you don't have much control of the products. What? Hmm. What sort of media channels would you use? What tactics would you go and do if you had the budget for? Like, what kind of big things are you feeling like, gosh, I wish I could do it? I know that right now, like, do you feel like right now you're doing a lot of it, um, of your own grit?
Oh
Um,
yeah. We've Like, if we could do paid marketing, and if I had a big budget for it, sky's the limit. I could reach so many more people, because right now what we need is new users. We need to show people the value of what we bring to the table. And that's something that they can't see because so many barriers that we talked about earlier. People don't know anything about NFTs. They don't trust NFTs because, and the market is so volatile in the crypto space in general, that it's just easier to not try something new, right? So
I mean, those are
yeah,
great.
if I could.
Yeah. I mean, again, feel free to just answer this question, like, if you think about anything more. But I just feel like, um, do you feel like, do you have the, but in your current role, because you're like you're the marketing director now, how much experimentation are you willing to do, or do you have like, or do you think you're tied with those approvals before you could do them, or is there a lot of that, or is there like channels wish you can hit more, and do more? You know what I'm trying to say here? It's like, what sort of things are you wanting to push the boundaries of, soon, or is that a trade secret? Anything?
No, it's not really a trade secret, but I'd have to say, as far as um, channels are concerned, I would really love to get into just other channels that other Web3 people and NFT enthusiasts where they live. Like Reddit, there's a big NFT enthusiast crypto, following there. Um, or, for example, something totally experimental, um, something like Twitch, using um, that type of community to kind of get into. As far as
Well,
any other,
so
yeah,
Twitch, if backhouse were game compatible and they were playing with backhouse skins, you could definitely tap that. But obviously, right now we're not in
right,
a
you don't have
that state.
interoperability.
Mm.
Yeah, but if I was like imagining what we could possibly do, but that's something that I would love to get into. I mean, it's not anything that, like you said, we don't have interoperability, so that's not something we can get into right now. And it's not even something that we've talked about or anything. You just asked me a question about. So
Yeah.
that's what it would be. But when it comes to exploring, one thing that I do have full control of is the way that I've laid out emails. I've been exploring left and right on how to design them in a different way to make them just easier to understand and more appealing and more creative. I'm a very creative person, so I've been experimenting with different formats. And they're not like templates. They're like, so what I like to do is I'll go into the interior pages of the comic book and I'll find a design and I'll kind of try to use that in the email, or I will try
Oh
to figure
wow.
out a way. Yeah, so I try to get creative that way.
Mm.
Hmm? So I have full control of communications, right? The formatting, the layout, what I say, how I can convey complex type of drop mechanics into simple, easy to understand format. So that's where I go. That's where I just go like super creative. I have full creative freedom. Of course, still have to get approvals, but the design and the layout itself, that's all me. And I love to explore, and that's where I do my exploring.
I have a follow up question, which is
Yeah.
really, I mean, we haven't talked about this, but like, what would you do without approvals? What would be the if you don't have any approvals? What are the three like top two things that you have in your mind that you would love to do? If you had,
Um,
if it would just be like they'll just be like yes,
Probably, I would probably like to do more IRL events.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
wow,
I'm a
okay,
very social person. If you can't already tell, I'm an extrovert. So I love meeting people and I love talking. So
hmm,
that's definitely something that I feel like I would love to put a lot more focus into, because what it all boils down to is we're all people, right?
yeah,
We
absolutely,
want to interact with one another. We want to engage with one another. It's not about the product. It's not about the IP. It's not about the brand. It's about the people.
yeah,
And that is the part that I want to reach the most. And I think that's just, for me, that's where I would go.
yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna like go into the deep well of questions
Okay.
that the community has. I don't have to do it. I just have to sit here, guys, and facilitate the channel. Really, what else can I do? That my life is so damn easy right now. Please, like, do you have any questions for me or the community while I find the next one?
Let me see. Um, some of the questions that I can think of are
But do you have anything for us? Like, what are the
right, right.
things, like what are the things that
I feel
you
like I already know the answer to some of the questions that I could think to ask.
don't preempt it. Don't preempt it.
um, let
I
me
know because
see.
everybody's such an open book, right? Like in Web3, they just tell you how they
Yeah, I
feel.
know what I'm reading.
um, guys, can you re-ask some of the questions? Um, well, I'm just gonna show this one. This one's nice. Um, Kryptonian, by the way, dude, I can't see anything that you're typing. You're just spamming the chat for some. I don't know if it's the new streaming service.
It
Um,
might be the new streaming service because there are some that I can't see either, like DJCK. I can't see any
yeah,
of
I
the
can't see
person.
Kryptonians. I don't know what is happening, man. It must be the new streaming service.
Hmm.
Um, mhm. Okay. I'm just gonna default back to the normal questions. Is there any like consumer related behavior that you think needing that you feel like you wish would change in like where we currently are? I wish people would stop asking me if you guys are rigging the drops for me. I mean, that's one of the things
Oh
that,
gosh,
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
come on.
that's a
Like, I mean, if you are rigging it for me, can you rig it a bit harder? Because you're not doing a very good job at rigging it. Because
we
you
are
know, I still get
absolutely
cores in uncommon. Like you know, it's not really a great thing. But no, but in all seriousness, like, is there any like consumer related behavior that you think? I mean, we all know X gets a bit out of hand, right? For like
yeah. Oh,
some people,
absolutely.
some people post things for just the likes and views. I've been
Yeah,
guilty of some of that, but like just because of how I. So I'm a person where if I feel strongly about something, I normally would post. But now I think things are a bit different now I've been here for a while. I feel like I have some level of responsibility. I don't know
yep.
if that's even true or not, but I feel like it's a crazy thing right now. I used to just it's easier when you don't have skin in the game. But sorry, you're the one who should answer this question. Is there anything like that you wish would change in this kind of space?
Well, I have to say you hit the nail on the head with the whole like responsibility, right? So I feel like oftentimes when people engage online, right, especially on X, um, it's so anonymous that they feel like they can say whatever they want, do whatever they want. They're not being responsible. Kind of like that saying with great power comes great responsibility.
Mm,
Well, same thing when you have a platform where you can impact other people's actions, think about what you're going to say,
mm.
so I feel like I wish people would just be more thoughtful with what they say, because whatever you post online, the internet is forever, right? And yeah, people are emboldened behind a PFP, and they feel like they can act however they want with zero
Res-
consequences because they're not constrained by their real world identities. That's something that should probably change. I think we really need to be more thoughtful and more cautious about what we put out there. That's something.
Sure. I mean, again, one of the things in the space is you get people that are doxxed, and like myself, I mean, not showing my real name, but it's a persona. This whole thing is a persona. Obviously, if we're talking like personas, but at the same time, there's still parts of me in there, and people that haven't shown themselves. It's honestly, it's. I mean, Caitlin talked about this. It's like, well, when people don't have that, they act different. They
Mhm.
act differently when it's different when you're in the spotlight as well. And you've been in the spotlight quite like you do this for a living. I have been in this long enough to kind of it's almost very natural for me. Some people take time to go, oh, okay, let me get ready. And I know that you're very organized, so you want to be prepped and stuff, but so do I. But at the same time, like if you're live, you're live. Like anything can happen.
Right.
Someone could say
Mhm.
something, and words still mean a lot. Like they still affect. I mean, I don't know if it is about you, but there are some times when like those words really cut, like, and you go, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, some like
Mhm.
personally, I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this? I'm not getting paid. Like, I'm not like, yes, I get lucky on some drops, but I've spent a lot more on this fucking these platforms than I've put
Yeah.
out. But literally, I think a lot of people have lost money because they've either over invested or they've over speculated. Or influencers told them that things are going to the moon. right?
Mhm.
I don't
Yep.
fucking know if we are or not. Like I actually don't know. I can tell everybody here, like, I don't fucking know what the future holds. I am enjoying it. Actually, I'm more of, and I probably should have said this in the beginning of the stream, but I'm more of, I want to see how this space plays out. I feel like there's a lot of potential here.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of challenges in, because putting myself in your shoes and everybody else's, like trying to create in this space with, would you say like limited resources, or would you say limited resources, or would you say new grounds all the time? What would you
I would
describe
say
where we
I
are?
would say both. I would say both because it's such a new industry that, of course, with anything new, you're going to have limitations, right? Not everyone is going to be on board right away. And you kind of have to like act, think fast on your feet and act fast.
Mhm.
Um, so, yes, resources will be limited, time will be limited. So, these are the kinds of things that we really need to take into consideration when looking at an organization or even an industry and where it's going and the evolution of it. When you think about when the internet first started, what was that, 30, 40 years ago? 30, I guess. It started off really very different from how it is today.
Mhm.
So just like with Web3, in 30 years from now, who knows what it'll look like, but I hope it'll be better. And I feel like that evolution, we'll see that and we will get the opportunity to experience that, especially coming in as early as we have. And that's exciting to me.
Is there anything on the blockchain that you wish, like, what do you think about? I know we talked about this earlier, like the privacy, um, like a public marketplace with the back end figures like all shown. And is there anything that you think is exciting about that, like the level of transparency that you guys are operating against? And do you think also it's kind of scary how like some of these things are so new that you don't know what to do. Like I don't know, what I'm trying to ask, but I guess it's the way. Is there do you have any thoughts on like the privacy, like how previous marketplaces worked versus now, like when what we're doing?
Well, so I feel like the whole concept of privacy and security and trust kind of all go hand in hand. And as with every new industry, you always have bad actors, especially at the beginning, trying to take advantage of people just trying to figure it out. So there's a lot of concern over scams and hacks and that kind of stuff that it really scares a lot of people away. So I feel like when it comes to privacy, it's really important to have that along with the transparency. But if there's a way for us to be able to figure out a way to get rid of the bots and get rid of these bad actors and people trying to scam and hack into things, I think that the privacy and the security measures would work better.
Mm.
I don't know if that's answering I don't even know what the question was.
Yeah, no, I think I
Answer
didn't know what the question is. I think all I'm trying to say is like we're breaking into new grounds with
Yeah.
everything being almost like 99% is transparent. I think the only thing that isn't is the packs. And that the only thing that's not transparent in the platform is being questioned, like, how things are allocated and whatnot. So I think I've had one person go, well, would you guys be open to do an audit and then make the audit public? I think that was just one of the, I think it's worth just saying on stream, just because I'm pretty confident that you guys could pass that with flying colors and it would just add to the layer of, well, yeah, I mean, we're setting the example. And I think you
Mhm.
guys are setting the example, of how companies should operate. I think, um, you know, without going into like darkening the stream and whatnot, obviously, yeah, we've been through some rough times, but I think it's a learning journey for everybody.
Yeah.
No one is perfect. Like seriously, you're gonna see me fail. You're gonna see you fail. We're gonna see you
Mhm.
fail, and you're gonna see us grow, and you're gonna see me grow. It's the same thing. It's just life.
Mhm. Exactly.
I really don't have much. Is there anything that you want to? Ooh,
Did a question come up that
yeah, there's plenty. What's your opinion on where NFTs fall within the Garner hype cycle? Where are we right now, do you think?
Um, it's really tough to say
Mm,
because there are a lot of issues at play here, like regulatory type of issues, safety, security, transparency, privacy, all of that stuff. So I'm not sure exactly what the future will bring or where we are in the process because it changes so fast, right?
mm,
Every day there's something new that happens. In fact, when I first started here, and I, became the only marketing resource, it was
yeah.
a very, it was a crash course. I was new to Web3, but it was a crash course. And seriously, every single day I was learning something new because the industry changes so fast. And so that's why, yeah, I really wouldn't know how to answer that question because there's so much change in such a short period of time.
Let's talk about that. Like, let's talk about you being the only marketing resource. What since so obviously you're not now because obviously you have other people now in your marketing team, right? But prior, so in Palm NFT, on the DC NFT marketplace, that was all you. So you had to send
Mhm.
all the emails. You have to. Did you have to do all the X posts, like all the posts? Um,
Yes.
and then what did you have to prep guests as well, or for
Yes.
the question?
Whenever I would do any of those spaces or Discord pages, I not only did I prep the guests, I put the run of show together, I put all the questions, everything.
Yeah, I mean that is a
Uh,
lot of work to do.
yeah,
I'm
but luckily for me, seriously, I'm ADHD and OCD. Those are my superpowers.
sure.
They really helped. They really helped.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah, I wore a lot of different hats. Yeah, and I designed the strategy. It wasn't just a here, put this email together. It was a okay, I'm gonna put this email together, but I'm gonna put together a series of emails. And when they go, like the cadence needs to be looked at, the not just the messaging, but how it's gonna be received. And then on top of the emails, there were social posts and there were blog posts. So it's a full campaign that wasn't just one thing. It was like multiple things. And I had to look at the big picture, but I also had to look at the minute details. So in order for me to do my job, well, I have to be both very left brained and right brained at the same time because I needed to be creative enough to be able to put together compelling information, but I also needed to be very analytical and very planned and thought out and strategic about the what, where, when, why, how. So I had to do all of that. But again, for someone with ADHD, you kind of need to have multiple things going on because
yeah.
otherwise you get
Get
bored,
bored.
you
Yeah,
know?
get bored. Yeah.
Um,
Well,
yeah, and the role was challenging, but it also allowed me to become more adaptable and really work on time management. And so I did. And
well,
and then yeah, so that experience was just invaluable for me. It was such a great
well.
experience.
I'm
Again,
miss.
it was a crash course in Web3 for me.
I'm missing the Backhouse Twitter account and the DC NFT. I mean, now that we've moved to Canada, this is just me. My personal take is I don't know whether I'm looking at MLB or DC. I feel like Candy
Mhm.
has a split personality right now. He's trying to do two things at once.
Yeah.
Um, so could get confusing. Whereas I know what I'm gonna get when Backhouse posts. I know what I'm gonna get when DC NFT official posts, right?
Mhm.
I almost feel like if you could split Candy into like Candy could just do MLB or just a bit of this, but then I mean, I really miss those Twitter accounts just because
Yeah.
they had so much. I'm just my personal opinion. They had so much. They added so much layers to the experience. Um, that yeah, I miss them. They're not posting anymore.
Mhm. Yeah.
I feel like they're friends that just went dark on me. Um,
Yeah.
just the feedback. That's all.
Okay. Great feedback. Well, we could always just, copy paste it over to because we both on Candy X, so we could do that. But that's not really a strategy.
Or how about this? How about members of the community will just line up posts for the Backhouse Twitter, and then we can send it for approval. What do you think?
We could try that. That
Yeah.
I would appreciate the help. Yeah.
No, seriously, like guys, if we have a bunch of posts for the Backhouse account, or like the comic enthusiasts, if they have a bunch of posts they want them to like just fork out, let's just do it. Yeah,
Put on a
we can help you out. Like it'll be like a community takeover event.
that'd be great.
I'm actually super freaking
I love that
serious
actually.
about this. Like, cause I just want to breathe some life into those accounts. If
Yeah,
no
I
one
hear
else
you.
would. Um,
Well,
there was
just know that those accounts are actually owned by DC, not by us.
Shay, are
So we
you
would
single? Apparently, yeah. I've just had that up here in the top right.
what's that? What's that?
Are you single?
No, I'm not single. Just
Chill. What are you doing to me, man? Seriously. Um, but yes. Where
thank
am
you. I appreciate that.
No, no,
Thank
no.
you.
Sorry. What were you saying? That's very rude of me.
What was the
If-
question? We were
Oh
talking
no, no,
about
no. The
that
community
cow.
takeover. Yeah, the community
Yeah.
takeover.
So okay, yeah. So well, I would recommend putting together a bunch of some of your recommendations onto a Google sheet. I can share them with the marketing director at DC, see what she says about that strategy because if that'll alleviate my time and my
I'm
workload,
serious. Open it up. So why don't you just go?
I,
Okay. No, no, no. Shay, seriously, all right. I'm leveling with you here. This is like I didn't plan this. You know, I didn't. I'm also just a weird guy like that. But what if you open up a channel to go? All right, take like a DC NFT official takeover. So the comic enthusiasts could post their favorite comics, their upcoming like love for the comics. Then the DC NFT official account would do that. The Backhouse account, I would freaking just line up posts for you myself. Jake could, Garen could, freaking Red Carbon, freaking everybody that loves Backhouse could just go and then we could just send stuff there. Maybe like I don't know, open up a couple of inboxes, maybe, and then like just post it out. And then the best ones that you like and that DC approves, then we could get posting on it, and then we'll help you out on the marketing. What do you think?
that would be great. We can give it a try. The
Okay,
worst thing to say is no. So
okay,
let's
all
do
right,
it. Let's give it a
all right.
try. I'll see what I
Just
can
putting this
do.
out there.
Okay.
Just putting it out there. Cool. So we've gone through the absolute madness of the chat. Press trying to cabal in public. Dudes, I am just a guy who loves my back house, and I just decided to have a YouTube. What are you guys talking about? I don't have a cabal. Stop it.
I don't know what that means.
A cabal is like a group of people that control
Oh,
everything.
oh, oh,
Yeah,
oh.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Mm. I don't know what else I could control. I mean, I don't even think I could control my dinner right now. Like, I could control my dinner, but that's probably the extent of it. Um, all signs point to no. You never know. Yeah, you never know if you don't ask.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I think the one thing I would ask though is like, what would what would some of like the stuff that you would love to come to the digital space? Is there any like, are you fans of different IPs? Is there like, if you had a wish list of like
Mm,
IP to be able to come to the platform,
yes.
is there any? Okay, which one?
Okay, so I'm a big fan of sci-fi and horror or supernatural stuff. So, like
Mm,
Studio 24 is my hands down most favorite production studio. So if they can come, that would be awesome.
okay,
Yeah, Studio 24.
okay,
Um, I'm also, you're gonna be surprised when I tell you this, but I'm also a Trekkie.
okay, all right,
Yeah, with like Star Trek, Next Generation. That's one
okay,
of my favorite. Um, let's see, what else do I like? Ooh, I like that show Dark. I think it's German with English subtitles. It's on Netflix. I love that show, that series so much that I never watched the last episode because I don't want it to end. Um, let's see. What about brands?
Marvel Comics.
Yes. Marvel Comics is already there, but I am a big fan of MCU. Yeah, I am.
Yeah,
I
me
am.
too. Me
What?
too.
Can't.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
gonna lie.
That's funny. Um, what else?
Who's your favorite character?
What in Marvel?
And yeah,
That's a good one. I mean, what recently or all time?
all time.
I mean, it has to be Spider Man if it's all time.
Hmm.
But recently, it has to be Iron Man.
Iron Man is my favorite too. My car, I drive a red Tesla. I named it Jarvis. That's
Yeah.
how. Yes,
Let's
yes.
go. Let's go.
Again, I
Um,
love all tech, so that's why. That's why.
I don't know why I'm blurring all of a sudden. Uh,
Yeah, you're blurry.
I don't know what's happened.
There you go.
Oh, I just needed to stop. Okay. Ah, have you tried the metaverse yet? What does
Yeah.
metaverse,
Yes. Yes, I
what does
have been on the
metaverse Rennie
metaverse.
Backhouse mean to you? I mean, to you personally, right? Or is this like a official candy question?
Uh, okay, well, yeah, I don't know how to answer it from a candy perspective, but
Okay,
to
but
me,
from a you perspective, yeah, yeah.
um, well, yes, I have a Meta Quest. I also have an Apple Vision Pro. So yeah, again, I'm a tech person, so of course I'm going to have them both. And what the metaverse means to me, first of all, I have to say that oftentimes when I am in the metaverse, I feel like I'm stuck there with a bunch of 12-year-old kids talking shit to each other. So it's kind of annoying. Do you guys get that? That's what I get. So it's kind of annoying. Maybe I'm just in the wrong rooms. I don't know. But it's kind of like, again, early days of like AOL chat rooms. Remember those?
Mm,
I don't know if you're old enough.
mm, maybe
but
not very well, but yeah, yeah, I know
but
you.
yeah, so it's kind of like that. So right
MSN,
now, it's kind of a
MSN
little
is the oldest chat I remember.
okay, but sometimes it's a little cringy. So I'm like, oh, I wish I could just like find a room where it's just, I don't know, not filled with nonsense. But
Right,
I remember seeing someone put all of their DC3s like in a spatial, like in like a museum thing. I thought that was cool. So I would love to do something like that. But yeah, I think that it would be cool to have interoperability and to be able to bring our digital collectibles into the metaverse. But that's like something that I don't know when, if that's going to happen, when it's going to happen. And I would love to see that because again, I love all tech. So that would be cool. Mhm, yeah,
what's
I've
wrong?
tried them.
What's wrong with Discord? What's wrong? It's not. Anyway, uh,
Legacy.
yeah, exactly. We're sagging off our own space here. Um, okay. I don't have any more questions of anything in particular. Unless they're like, what are the comics that you love? That you love to like,
Well, like
like,
current day or like from
yeah. Well, no, more like, what's your favorite comic drop so far? Maybe like name your top two or three on
gosh, let me see. I have to look at
the
my
platform.
well, there's one coming up next week that I
Okay.
cannot say.
So you're saying hang
Okay,
on.
you might find out tomorrow.
Are you
What?
saying that next week's comic drop is because you have to be very careful here. Like you're gonna send people into crazy
It's
like cringe
okay.
mode. Are you saying
It's
yeah?
the Super Power Pack coming out next week. I'm excited about that one, and you guys will see soon.
Why
I
do you do
promise.
this to me? Why do you
Why do
do
I do this?
I
Hey,
said
I'm in
okay,
marketing. I know
we're
what I'm doing.
okay, guys. So there's a power pack next week that she's very excited about. But I'm talking like previously. Like, what is
The
there?
previous.
Yeah, is there one that like you
So
really
many.
enjoyed?
Ooh.
Yeah,
You know what I really enjoyed is remember when we did the multiverse thing with it was Jim Lee's idea, that whole like with
multiverse,
the different universes,
multiverse. Yes, yes.
multiverse thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you were in this
So
dream with me. You know the title. The was it Enter the Multiverse event?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
Dash
yeah.
one.
Mm,
Yep.
that was freaking amazing.
Yeah. That was my favorite for sure.
Mm. What are you excited about in Legacy Cow comic? What excites you the most about
Mm, I think I really love wearing the cowls.
Okay.
I don't know if you're probably on TikTok, but I've used my cow on TikTok.
Okay.
And, I know most people are like, "What is that?" You know?
Oh, the TikTok
But
is
they're just so
everywhere.
fun.
Okay.
Plus, you can really use it as, like, if you kinda wanted to be anonymous, it's a great tool to use,
Hmm.
you
Okay.
know? Yeah, so I love that. I love the AR part of Legacy Cows.
Mm. What about the comic?
I mean, Batman Legacy Cow comic?
What are you excited about that?
Oh, I'm excited for the hardcover to come out.
When is that coming out? That's tomorrow, right?
Well, it's coming soon.
Has that been delayed, or I don't know? Is that supposed to be tomorrow?
Well, it's not that it's delayed. It's that we're trying to get every little aspect of it just right. It has to be perfect. We're
Okay.
perfectionists, so yeah.
You're professional. Okay, so okay, not the hardcover, but like the actual story. What are you excited about on the story?
Well, I love the way that it ended because, like, when the legacy cowl happened and everything and how it escaped from the bat cave, I just think that part is so fascinating because it's never been done before.
Mhm.
The fact that we were ahead of the game when it came to AI, because as you recall, Batman Legacy Cowl, we were developing that before ChatGPT came out with, I mean, before OpenAI came out with ChatGPT last January, right? Before it blew
Yeah.
up. We were like, wow, we were ahead of the game. Who knew?
Well, yeah.
So that was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I made a post about this. I'm like,
Mhm.
what are you guys doing? Like, why do you not realize that the legacy cow and the back cows are AI? And they're
Mhm.
like, like they're either gonna possess you or they're gonna give you freaking superhuman abilities.
Yep. Mhm.
And it could potentially give the marketplace abilities as well, just because of what I've seen from Foundation's post
Yep.
about like how AI is revolutionizing just collecting in general, like art,
Mhm.
right? Art and collecting. But we know that AI lives in the digital world. And I pray to God Candy's thinking about this, or at least like wanting to do, because this is so obvious that AI is here and you have AI ready cows that people wear. You can even token gate like features in the site, guys, using AI. I really hope that that's being developed because otherwise we're just gonna self custody it and then Dr. Mark's just gonna build it for us, right? But no, you mentioned like interoperability and stuff like that. I mean, are you excited for that?
Very.
Are you part of the teams that like try and look for other marketplaces or metaverses or games? Like, is that part of your remit to be talking to them or?
It's really not. That's more on the product development side
All right.
and partnership side and kind of sales side. I'm more on once they make all the decisions, my job is to communicate that out.
Hmm. If you were part of the sales team, where would you want to go and talk to? Who would you want to talk to be in charge?
Um, as far as marketplaces are concerned, man,
Or game, or anything that Backhouse could interact with, or the comics,
I
or
would
or
say
or MLB, or anything.
uh-huh. I would definitely say metaverse. I'm a big metaverse fan. And I think that that's where people will congregate, where people will network, where people will, you know, meet new people. I feel like it's a great hub for just people. Again, I'm all about making products for people and making sure that that is the main focus, not the tech. I mean, no, even though I love tech, not the tech, not the profits, not any superficial aspects of the organization or the business. It's about the people. I know I sound like a politician, don't I?
No, so you basically want to be where the people are, so that you
Yes.
can you can
Yes.
spread the good
Exactly.
word
Exactly.
of the legacy Cal in the
And
background.
and that's where engagement happens. Is where the people congregate.
So Fortnite then.
Sure.
When Batsu collection?
I can't answer those kinds of questions.
No, but you no, of course.
Not product, I'm marketing, which means I'm
No,
after.
no. But you do have desires. You must have. What's your desire for the Bacao collection?
Hmm.
Your
For the
personal,
collection or for
your
the
personal,
community?
both.
Well, for the collection, I really like from a personal perspective, what my um I wish we could recreate more because I would love to have like a custom bat cowl for myself, like a Shae bat cowl. Yeah, if I yeah. So yeah, I saw that Shae for candy present. Thanks.
Sure. So okay, so you would want to design your own Bacao. Like who the
Yeah, yeah.
heck, who the heck doesn't? By the way,
Right.
what would you have in it? Have you thought about this?
Hmm. I have not really thought about it, but
Has to be
something
pink.
with it has to be what?
Is it pink?
No.
You're very pink right now.
Well,
Okay,
that's just my lighting. It's just my lighting.
okay. Okay, what would it look like?
I think it would be something that does not go like out of trend. You know what I mean? Something that has continuity, something that has a design style to it that no matter like if it's like 10 years from now or 100 years from now, someone looks at it and they're like, oh, this is pretty cool. It doesn't look very 2024. You know what I mean? So something that has longevity and
Cool.
something that has a design that is like forever. Like do you know what soft shell shapes are? It's a new shape that mathematicians recently came up with. So it's kind
No,
of like, yeah, so look it up.
no, I
It's a new
have.
shape. Yeah.
It's a new
Um,
shape. Okay.
yeah,
Soft
soft
gel.
shell. Yeah.
Soft gel.
So
Sorry,
shell,
gel.
SHELL.
Ah,
Yeah. So yeah, something that has like longevity to it, something that will, span the decades. Um, so that kind of a design that's kind of immortal.
any traits you want there?
Any particular traits? I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
I didn't prep you for that one.
No.
That is shit. I know. Like this is we're spitballing now. We've ran through all the questions.
No, I think you still have more questions on your list. I feel like
Oh, am I not giving it enough love? Okay, actually, let me go into it. Hmm,
we kind of touched upon like the you had asked me about like the age range
yeah,
and
sure.
why we're not able to. So I answered the question of like why we're not able to like get the younger generation, right? But the older generation, that's another part of the equation. So like of course tech, right? The older generation, they're less familiar with tech and so they're a little more apprehensive and they kind of want to so they shy away from it for that reason. And then on top of that there's the skepticism, like they are so concerned about security and volatility and all that stuff, which rightfully so. But I think that if we are able to, we can bridge gaps between like all of these, what everyone's so concerned about and why they're holding back and, kind of opening doors for them. We can bridge those gaps by making the experience more accessible and easier. I feel like oftentimes, especially when you're new to like, when you first open a Coinbase or a Binance account, like when I first got into Web3, I opened an account with everybody because I was like, I want to learn all of it and I want to see like what the differences are. I think that the easier you can make it for someone, the onboarding is so key to holding their interest. And then gamifying. I love gamifying everything and anything. So like even for myself, like sometimes when I'm like emptying the dishwasher, I like time myself, try to do it fast, something silly like that, right? For me, if I make everything a game, it makes it so much more fun and makes me want to keep coming back to doing it. And then making sure to provide a good educational resource. People forget things, people don't know how to do certain things. And so, of course, if you have something that people can always refer back to be like, okay, how do you do that thing again? It makes it easier. And then making sure that, you show how valuable something is. I think that oftentimes that's where a lot of NFT projects lose sight of their main goal and their objective is that um, they themselves know what the value is, and they forget that their end users don't always understand. So that's something that they should constantly reiterate and show. Um,
I just
just
thought it would be
that,
great to have like a back house Alexa, like so it's something physical in
oh,
like in front of you, and it's gonna be like,
mhm.
hey, there's a drop coming. Hey, hey, the item that you're watching is on sale. Go on the market now. Right?
Yep.
Like an AI assistant backhoe for your
Yeah.
collection
That would
to
be.
curate your collection. That would be cool.
Ooh, we can create like a what is it called? A Zapier.
What's that?
What? You don't know what Zapiers are? A
No,
Zap?
what's that? No, what's that?
Mm, so it's a tool that it's like an API tool that connects different platforms, and you can automate and create notifications. You can do all kinds of things with it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, you're teaching me some things here. Shay, is there anything that you wanna? What are your biggest lessons the past 2 years?
Oh gosh. I would say, first of all, the number one thing would be that community is everything. It's like engaging with and listening to community members. That gives you so much insight into where you should be, what you should be doing, how you should be doing it on this end. And then on the other end, it creates this like the loyalty and trust on the user end. So that's one of the biggest things that I learned going into Web3 because prior to this, I've always worked in marketing, I've always worked in the tech industry, but that was never really the biggest aspect of the organization. So for me, this it's just that's the biggest thing that like stands out the most. Another thing I would say I've learned in the past couple of years is adaptability. You have to like, especially in this rapidly evolving space of Web3, you have to learn to be able to just pivot anytime, anywhere. If you're working on something and all of a sudden it's like, oh, the market just did this, you have to react and you got to just go and you just got to be ready. You got to be ready for any changes that happen. And then just adjusting your strategies accordingly, and then having a backup plan in case things don't happen the way that you kind of had planned. Another thing I would say that I've been doing a lot of is collaborating with other organizations. Um, you know, being able to collaborate. Like I remember, I think if you recall last year, was it last year? No, it was the year before, I think, when we collaborated with Alluvio.
Mhm.
And then we also collaborated with McFarland. So I think that those were really great campaigns, and we really opened things up, not just for our community, but we were able to, you know, work with them and their communities.
Mhm.
So I think that, yeah, that's something that is kind of unheard of on the traditional,
Mm.
businesses side is collaborating with your competition,
Yeah,
things
absolutely.
like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
yep.
Especially if you
Or
share IP, like that's quite
yeah,
easy to cross over. Yeah, same
absolutely.
audience. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then also the last thing I would say is like really embracing challenges as opportunities. I know as cheesy as that sounds, it's really true. I feel like necessity is the mother of invention. It's so true that anytime um, any any obstacles come your way, there's where there's a will, there's a way. You know, it allows you to look to work outside of the box and it allows you to find creative workarounds and solutions and ways to improve something that you wouldn't have known otherwise that you would have had to do, so I feel like it opens up so many doors.
Mhm.
So
How do you balance hype and setting expectations? Maybe that's a good one to kind of not finish
yeah.
off, but maybe semi finish off. Like what
Hmm.
how because this is very important in the space. Like
Yeah.
like the unknown and knowns are very,
Hmm.
and I
Yep.
guess hope, right? Because Otherwise, like, why are you here if you're not here to dream, right?
Totally,
But
totally.
how do you balance
So
that as a? I
that's a
guess
great
that.
question.
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah.
this is a great question because let me tell you, balancing hype and making sure to not overdo with expectations. It's a really delicate art. It's kind of like driving stick shift. um, so it's like a delicate art because it hinges on like transparent communication, but also very authentic engagement. So for example, if you remember what I did when we did the Legacy Cows art reveal, um, when when it was brought to my attention that we're like, okay, we're going to reveal the Legacy Cal's art. Here it is. You put it in an email. I was like, I am not going to put it in an email. That's so boring. That's so boring. This
Right.
is what I'm going to do. I am going to create, and I named this myself. I don't think this term has ever been used before, so feel free to borrow it. I created what's called a whisper campaign because I wanted to kind of use these teasers and these previews to
Mhm.
build up the hype. But at the same time, I'm not like, building up expectations to be so high. It's just a teaser. And, they're very honest, they're very clean, but it also allowed for, chatter. And I love that because that's how you kind of go viral, right? Is through
Mhm.
chatter, through engagement, through, just speculation, all that stuff. When you create that buzz, I think that's the hype. But it's not hype in the sense that, I'm building this up to make it more than it is.
Mhm.
So it allows me to temper expectations, but at the same time, build the excitement. So making sure to, of course, have clear timelines, um, under promising and over delivering. That's always a key thing. And then being proactive about addressing any concerns because sometimes we can anticipate concerns and questions and issues, but other times we can't. Things happen and we're like, oh shit, we didn't think about that. So you got to act fast, on the fly. You got to change things up. You got to change strategy. It's kind of like building the plane in flight kind of thing.
Mhm.
Sometimes you got to do that. So that is how I would say that. Does that answer the question?
It does. It does. Absolutely. I mean, as you said as well, obviously, only when you're allowed to do something, then you can, like, almost like on the fly, like
Yes.
like react almost as like quick as you could. So it's just like giving me an idea of, okay, you find something out. How do I execute this? And honestly, so far, what I'm hearing, like, honestly, like, we're here to help you. We, like, as a community, use us. Wherever you can. Already gave dropped the my suggestion earlier. Um, this topic on, like, pivots and pivoting, and like when you, I'm talking general, but
Mhm.
when something doesn't work, are you happy with the way that the speed of the pivots happen, or do you think you just is there so much more to it than we can even fathom? I think you know what I'm trying to say here, but
Yeah, there's so much more to it because,
okay.
um, like I said, we don't have full control of everything. It's like a decision by leadership team, by the IP, by so many different hands go into making something the way that it is.
Hmm.
It's yeah, so it's not just if the sky's the limit. If I had control, oh my god, I'd be giving away bat cows left and right. Just kidding.
Oh, sure, sure. And actually, this follows up to a great question: is how much power do you think the community has, and is it by them being vocal that we achieve things?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Being vocal, being, just like in all of life, right? Like when you think about the concept of unions, collectively, they have a louder voice. So collectively, bat cow holders or the DC community, the more you work together, the louder your voice will be. So if there's something that you
Hmm.
want to ask for, you need, make sure to do it together.
So, so are you saying that? part of this Web3 journey is building towards the community's needs. And do you see evidence of that? Like, of like live, like like they just pivoted on some feedback that they've received. How much of that is that you could attest to? Like, we just talk general here to save yourself, but like, do you know what I'm trying to say here? It's like, or when, how does the feedback loop even come? Like, so it comes to you guys.
Mhm.
Like, how much of that gets discussed and brought to the table in some of these meetings that you're in?
It's immediate. Like sometimes I'll get a Slack message from DC NFT Discord mods, and they'll be like, "Oh, this happened, and we didn't anticipate this. What can we do about it?" So, we'll go back to the drawing board and make some changes or do something that will fix the problem. So yeah, we react very quickly
Mhm.
if and when we can. I mean, there are times where, the community asks for something and we have to go back to DC and say, okay, this is what's happening. Can we change direction? And that may take a little longer. So some things are quick and easy and some things may take longer. So it's just on a case by case basis.
Is there people in DC or anywhere that wants to come to? Do you think that will be the face of just the drive in general? Because I've seen that Josh has left recently. Is there any? Do you think it's going to be a reach to ask if there will be somebody who be public facing with some of these queries that you guys might be getting, but it's not, it's just nicer to have like a personality
Mhm.
in there. Do you think that's something that's being talked about, or do they prefer to be in the shadows, as they say? I know Eric's come out recently. He's come to some of my spaces, and
Oh, yeah, great.
Eric designs the works
Yes,
with
I like
Jim
him a lot.
Lee. He works with Jim Lee, and he works with the team with the comics, and he has
Mhm.
a team, and he was telling me he works in spaces with us. But for the collectibles side, I feel like I don't even know who is heading up that. Like, what's the direction there? We don't even have Josh. So, is that something do you think? I'm asking the universe here. It'll be great. I don't even think this is for you, but like, it's
Yeah,
just great to have a face to a campaign. You know.
totally. It would
Oh,
be.
I have a
Yeah.
a question here for you then. When you feel about what do you feel about having, can you over communicate, or do you think do you have to plan things now, like when you make your appearances, like, or is that just a personal preference, do you think, between the team?
Um, Me personally, well, I think it's more of like a time issue. Like
Right.
when would I have time in my schedule to be able to, you know, make an
Hang
appearance?
out. Yeah, yeah, sure. And not obviously be, yeah, no, be so okay, so time.
Yeah. Are you
Which,
asking me to come back? Is that why?
right?
Are you asking me to come back? Is that why?
Yeah, like seriously, I think it's a good wheel because people know it's not censored, it's not
Mhm.
planned. There's
Yep.
a magic to chaos. I would love to ask Caitlin if we're gonna get more things for the back house, or is Legacy Cows gonna take over? Not just Caitlin, but DC. Like, what is your plan for the back house? Because I keep asking this on every freaking stream I have, and it's come out now all of a sudden. I feel like we've taken a back seat. The back cows themselves haven't been part of the story. We just need some, like, seriously, you could just put out a vote, like something inexpensive. It doesn't have to cost money. We just want to know if back house is still part of the conversation. Yeah, I'm so attached. I'm bloody attached to the product. But
Yeah.
it's because I just see so much potential in there. The traits, how what it could unlock, what metaverse is, what marketplace
Mhm.
is, bloody everything, the whole shebang is there.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking cool to be
It's
part of
cool.
like to become a superhero, like, and
Mhm.
actually, in all fairness, I think everybody watching, you are a superhero. You are in a new technology. You are in a new space. Freaking, it's lovely, like, to be part of the conversation. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Thank you, Shay, for joining me. Is there any last thoughts that you wanna finish off with? Any last topics? I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I don't need to go anywhere. So if you want to hang around a bit more, talk about something else. But is there anything you wanna?
Well, I guess the only thing I, can say to wrap this up is, first of all, I have loved every moment of working on this project for the past, 2.5 years, how long it's been.
Thank you so
And
much. Yeah.
um, I pour my heart into everything I do for this project. You can ask my husband. He's always like, "You're working again?" I like work till late at night. I work the weekends. And it's not because I've got shit to do. It's because I really love what I do. And it's so rare to be able to get that kind of opportunity. I mean, I feel like a job is a job is a job for most people, but it's not for me.
Mhm.
I really am very passionate about not just the project and our collectibles and DC3s, but also this community. I mean, this community is the heart of Bat Cowls. It's the heart of the DC NFT project. It's not about the products, it's not about the collectibles, it's about the people. If that's one thing that I can convey to everyone, that's what it's about. Like, think about all of the friendships that you guys have made throughout these past couple of
Oh, it's
years.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
right? That is what makes up the Bat Cowls. It's not the AR filter. It's not about Batman Legacy Cowl hardcover deluxe edition. It's not about the DC3s. It's about the people.
Hmm. Wow, what a beautiful way to end the stream. Shay, I invite you to come on anytime you like.
I would love to.
And thank you very much, guys, for chilling out with us.
Yes.
And yeah, it's nearly 2 hours. Can you believe it? But
Yeah, we've gone beyond 2 hours.
yeah, we have. Well,
No, it's we said an hour and a half. We've gone beyond our.
yeah, but yeah, Shay, keep doing what you do.
You.
We'll see you on the other side, and we can't wait to see what you have in store for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks,
See
Prez.
you
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.